So, wow. Um, so I start with welcome everyone. Thank you so much for showing up and being here in the Out of Time spiritual healing class. And I don't know how this is for you, but I recognize that, say, an enormous shift has occurred in the last couple of days. So if you're aware of that, great. And if not, that's fine too, because it's happening anyway. But that is always a bit of discombobulating. I don't know if you recognize that too. It's a bit of a discombobulation. And that means like everything that worked before suddenly stops working, and other things automatically work that never worked before. Stuff like this. So it's like there's a shift in frequency taking place, and you're part of it. It's happening. You can feel it. It's like something is really shifting, and whatever that is, it really doesn't matter. You don't need to examine it. It's just more like if you recognize it, you will see it, and it's yeah, and another, say, even more intense invitation to let the old be the old. That's gone. That definitely doesn't work anymore right now. This is it. And this is how I want to approach this class too. It's like, this is it. We're here. I'm going to share some really different and also very much the same quotes that we used to first contemplate on, just to get into something and into a stillness in ourselves, into maybe even an emptiness in ourselves. And also, you will see there's a real instruction in it. I can hardly talk either. My tongue doesn't seem to work right now. So it is like there's a real instruction in the quote that I'm going to give you. So first, well, let me continue because it is fun to do it. So the theme of today, in fact, you could say, the theme of today is getting ready for a step out of time. So getting ready for it, getting ready for a step out of time. And we have been talking about out of time. This is an out of time class, and it's not like you push the button and you're out of time. No, it comes with some recognition for yourself, like what is, like I said on the website, like what is the nature of error? What is that what I keep holding on to but doesn't serve me any longer? It doesn't really have a purpose anymore in my life, and I actually need to let go of it. And that was one of the things, but a huge theme, in fact. So now, for the continuation of this, to just do this as a conscious thought experiment, in fact, it's like I'm getting ready for a step out of time. So how is it about my determination? Like, where am I here with my am I doing this? Am I taking time for my practice? Am I reading? Am I enjoying my prayer time with my Creator? Am I doing all these things? And what else is there that I think I need to do for a step out of time? So is there still something that is on my list that I think I need to do before that can even happen? And I don't want to make the idea of step out of time too big for anyone. Like, I don't want to make it huge or make it something that would be something to be afraid of. Not at all. So this is more like just a thought experiment, just to help you think, become conscious of the thoughts that you have around the idea of out of time. And so in the exercise that we're going to do, you're literally are going to find a quote or a piece of text or a painting or a stone or an who knows what, an expression or a movement or like all the expressive ways that we used before. But this time you're going to choose a different one that you actually hardly ever use. And so you might discover something new in exploring that for just a moment. And because we all do that, that makes it easier for us to see that, okay, there's nothing to win here, there's nothing to lose. It's not about doing it right or anything like that. No, this is about doing it, just expressing yourself in the way that comes up for you to share, to come in touch, in fact, with the guidance and openness, and an actual experiment in following the guidance that you get, finding yourself doing things, finding some piece of text that inspires you to express that specifically in a whole different way than you used to. So it's like taking you out of your comfort zone, but that's all right. It doesn't really matter. So you can't go wrong with it. This is what I'm saying. It's like it's not a test. It's just, yeah, opening your mind for something else to occur and letting something else express through you. So that's a huge, in fact, beautiful, huge moment for yourself. That's really lovely. So it's a bit the same as if I look at it. It's like how I prepare for this class, for instance, is totally different than you would for a speech or for some information that you need to transfer to people. Now this is like, I'm just trusting that to come through, to express this. Whether I think I'm ready for it or not, it doesn't even matter. It's like I open my mouth and it starts. And this is the same with healing, this is the same with many things. Because you start to rely on the certainty that it is not up to you, you're going to be guided. I will tell you exactly what to share, what to say, what to do, who to see. And now in this case then, what quote to bring to yourself, to share in relationship with a step out of time. So I did this myself too. So I already exercised a little bit, but this, you got to see this as a very spontaneous action too. So it is really all right. So I'm going to share this with you. We're going to use this right away for some meditation, in fact, because I love to bring that in as a meditation. So this you can decide too. It's like I'm not determining anything. You can decide too how you want to use it, that you're going to share with us. Is it another moment of quiet? Is it this? Is it that? That is up to you. So in the meanwhile, I'm here looking for the sheet that I'd like to share with you. I got them right here. So first one is one I found. It's all from the same, it's from the Eastern tradition, so that makes it different for me because I hardly ever use that, even though I love it. Alright, so this is coming from I will give you the mind through which this came to you. I will give that later, you will see it printed too. So this is the first sheet. If we hold exclusively to emptiness, we deny the entire causal world. All is then attributed to chance, with no ruling principle, inviting evil to prevail. The same error occurs when one holds exclusively to the manifested, denying the emptiness. That would be like throwing oneself into the flames in order to avoid being drowned in the water. So I love this. So this is what I meant with the instruction. Here's an instruction involved. It will show you something. So we're going to stand still for a moment with that. I'll repeat it once more. And then after, say, 4 or 5 minutes, I bring up the other sheet and show you that. If we hold exclusively to emptiness, we deny the entire causal world. All is then attributed to chance, with no ruling principle, inviting evil to prevail. The same error occurs when one holds exclusively to the manifested, to form, denying the emptiness. That would be the same like throwing oneself into the flames in order to avoid being drowned in the water. Now you have to remember nothing of this. We're just going to stand still with it. Just not moving at all, just staying right here and entering into our stillness by just breathing, relaxing, making contact, becoming present here. Exhaling a little bit longer than you're used to, breathing in through your nose. Helping yourself to come completely present here. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. So it actually comes from a Chinese mystic, like a mystic from the East. But it really doesn't matter. In fact, like the recognition will be the same as if it's about truth, truth is true. So you might recognize that in what is being shared. So here we go. Say the first sentence is just the name of the mystic. The inner light is beyond praise and blame. Like space, it knows no boundaries, yet it is even here within us, ever retaining its serenity and fullness. It is only when you hunt for it that you lose it. You cannot take hold of it, but equally, you cannot get rid of it. The inner light is beyond praise and blame, like space. It knows no boundaries, and yet it is even here within us, ever retaining its serenity and fullness. It is only when you hunt for it that you lose it. You cannot take hold of it, but equally you cannot get rid of it. I really love that. I really love that. That's so beautiful. So, the inner light is beyond praise and blame. It is like space. It knows no boundaries. That is your inner light. It is within you. You can't get rid of it. You cannot get it. You cannot hold it. You cannot possess it. You cannot hunt for it either. When you grasp for it, it will be gone. You cannot take hold of it, but equally you cannot get rid of it. I love it. So that what you are seeking is what I am, is right here with you. So that's to me the same sentence. So I'm going to stand still with you with this. It's like the inner light is beyond praise and blame, like it has nothing to do with duality whatsoever anymore. It is like space, it knows no boundaries. So like I want to enter into that with you right here. And just by standing still, by listening, by breathing, by relaxing, by opening and receiving. Thank you for that, for being patient with me and being still with this, what is being shared. I tried to do something here. So, you see that what is given through this Chinese mystic is something that you recognize. Is like whatever this inner light is, I cannot grasp it, I cannot get a hold of it, but I also cannot get rid of it. It can never disappear. I know it's a fundamental part of me. So there's your connection, in fact, with, and also your instruction for the out of time experience that has nothing to do with time, and the undoing process that is taking place of not trying to hold on to it. Well, you learn to meditate, for instance. You learn to meditate. But if you really want an experience during your meditation and you're waiting for one, it is quiet, it's still, it's not going to happen. So it's like you need to be present, but you don't want to get it. You don't want to look for an outcome. Like, how do you practice something that is not under conscious control? That is literally for you to be open and wait for it with empty hands, not trying to touch it or hold on to it. So this is such a fundamental, in fact, teaching, and part of your transformational path. You will surely recognize it. And you see, it's a universal. Even the process to get to it is it's almost like a collective process of going step by step in the non-attachment, not even to an outcome in your meditation, not even to your ideas about emptiness, like we said we saw in the first quote. Like there's emptiness, but you don't want to disappear into that emptiness. No, it's like you're present here at the same time. So you are here not by accident. There's definitely, say, a reason for you being here. And so by floating off into astral space, that doesn't work either. That's not the way out of this. So then still you have to go through this, in fact, physical resurrection, if you want, or physical change, physical transformation, because you carry the memories literally here, and these are going to be undone. And that's one of the necessities to have a full-blown, so to speak, awakening, so that there is no residual left in your experience of yourself. Like you move from your self-identity to a state that has no self-investment anymore. So it recognizes itself as being everything and everywhere. And so you're on the process of going into that. So you can say, like, the moments that you have experiences of something that has nothing to do with time, like the glimpses that we're talking about, glimpses of light, possible revelations that just come to you, that suddenly are happening to you. You had no idea, and whambo, there it is. These are all steps to that. These are, say, your glimpses of experiences from being out of time. So this is a great practice, and it's beautiful to look at too. So it's like we are in the middle of the process, so we might as well use the quotes and the things that are within our reach, literally, physically too, like the things that are within our reach, but we're going to use it to express ourselves in a different way than we are used to. And don't make it too difficult for yourself. It's not that I'm asking a lot of you in that sense. It's like, no, just consider certain things that you maybe never done before, or that you would like to do this time, just because it comes into your mind to do so. I hope this is clear. I don't know. For me, it's clear, but so you can ask something if you want in a moment. So we do this in two phases. One of them is you're going to look for a quote within your reach, or a piece of scripture, or a piece of your favorite spiritual scripture, or a quote you find on your telephones, like, oh yeah, I love this. And then, so that's the first part. You're going to look for that, and it is here. You don't have to do anything difficult for it. So you can find that pretty quick. Now you're going to present it in a certain way. You can give a picture of it, or you can make a picture of it with your telephone, send it to me by WhatsApp, and I will show it to everyone. Then you're actually going to, and this is the next step, so I can say that to share this again after you have sent in your quote. Now you're going to express something that is for you really important as a step out of time. Like, this is really inspiring to you. This is helping you to dislodge from the world or your attachments. This quote is really like beneficial for you. It feels like great help. So, and now you're going to present that in a way after you have sent the quote to me, you're going to present it in a way just that's spontaneous, that is like improvising. That can be singing, that can be drawing, a quick drawing that you make. It can be a poem that you write. It can, all these things, these. Or make a picture of something that really you think nails it, so to speak. And then you send it to me too, through WhatsApp or email, if that's not too difficult. And otherwise, say with the poems, you can recite them live in class when we come back to it.
I am the head and not the tail, living on earth from beyond the veil. No weapon that is formed can cause me harm. Living in health, wealth, and prosperity, taking no part in lack and scarcity. I am the flow of abundance, all needs met, as the vastness of a sunset. Shining forth deity from my physicality, called to set the captive free, just by being me. A vessel of light so bright, rising to higher heights. Poor me, I can no longer sing. I now sound the alarm. Let freedom ring.
Love begets love. Love begets love.
This is the day the Lord has made. I stand in power, no longer afraid. Out of the darkness and into the light, pressing a power of sovereign might. Look here and see a picture of divinity, the truth of you and me. Be still to know who is God, no longer having to live a facade. Gaining the revelation of I and the Father are one, now spoken as the Son. In the stillness, true bliss, as I recover my I amness. Rising from the valley to the mountaintop, singing along the way, a little hip hop, filled with